If you can get juice from a potato,
Did you kill the president?
No, I've not been charged with that. In fact, nobody has said that to me yet.
Hey, Segovia, back with another one. Hope everyone out there's having a good day, y'all. We got a good one coming up today. We got some Campbell's soup on sale. Black Friday ain't what it used to be. And some Illuminati. All coming up in today's episode. Should we begin? Let's have some fun today, y'all. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Hey, I'm at Sam's Club, and look, pallets of 3D chicken soup. And it's $12.98. So if you're in the market for all that chicken soup, 3D chicken soup from Campbell, y'all, it's right here waiting for you at Sam's Club. Y'all have a great day.
Bill Gates has one of these, a real one, on his wall behind him, because this is so important. So let's say you take a carbon, which is 6 protons and neutrons in the middle, and then 6 electrons buzzing around it.
Okay.
If you took your vacuum cleaner and you sucked all the air out of all of those that make up all of our mass on this planet, you could condense the Earth to the size of a marble.
Bro, what is going on right now? Because at this point, they trying to tell us what we can and can't wear at an airport. Really talking about the government is stepping in and telling people to stop wearing pajamas and stop wearing slippers to the airport. So you can't be comfortable at an airport. And the crazy part about this, y'all, they're calling it dressing with respect. Respect who? You gotta think about it. Some people be exhausted going to the airport. Some people be running off 3 hours of sleep. So you don't want them to be comfortable? I'm lost, fool. Ain't nobody thinking about what somebody wearing to the airport. You got people that got kids. You got people that got morning flights. It's so many other things to think about than somebody wearing pajamas and shit. Like what? Let's talk about all these goddamn planes that went down this year. Let's talk about the traffic controllers not doing their job. Let's talk about shit like that, fool. Or people trying to sneak in weapons or bombs. Y'all talking about pajamas. I'm telling y'all, the world is getting weird, fool. We really got people worried about what you wear to the airport. Come on now. Let people wear what they want. And y'all let me know what y'all think about this.
2000.
Hey, did these air traffic people, did they get their 10,000? Like Mr. Trump said he was going to give them if they didn't call in? Or was it just talk? Just to sound good? Anybody know? Did they get that 10,000?
Crazy time in Mexico. So this was like the peak of drug cartel wars going on. And one of the biggest cartels at war at the time was called Los Zetas. And in November of that year, one single old man would face off against like the entire cartel.
What?
So his name was Don Alejo Garza Jamez, and he was 77 years old, and he owned this ranch. So he'd be visited by these Los Zetas members. They demanded him to leave, and they were going to take his ranch by force. But he refused and told them no. And that's when they gave him a 24-hour warning and said that if we come back in 24 hours and you're not gone, we're gonna shoot you.
No way.
And as they were getting in their trucks to leave, he simply said, "I'll be waiting."
This dude's a thug.
Alejo wasn't just some old man. He spent his whole life working with weapons, and he owned a lot of them. So as soon as they left, he fortified his ranch and set up rifles at various vantage points. So it was around 4 a.m. where all the cartel members would show up. It was about 18 of them. And that's when one of the members of the cartel shot a warning shot in the air, thinking it would scare him. But Alejo would quickly draw his pistol and shoot 2 members of the cartel, and then he would instantly retreat back to his ranch.
That's insane.
So then what would be a 4-hour long gunfight would commence.
4 hours?
Alejo would be shooting at them from various vantage points, like I said. Eventually, 2 of the members would breach his house, right?
Yeah.
But they would be met by a shotgun by Alejo as if he was John Wick, and he would kill both of them.
He's Rambo.
So they resorted to using grenades and rocket launchers at him.
What?
And they still couldn't get him. So this gunfight drew on for, like I said, a long time, and the cartel members were afraid that eventually the Mexican Marines would show up. So they fled the scene, and when the Mexican Marines eventually did show up, and as they went in the house, they went into the bathroom, they would find Alejo still with his gun pointed at the door, but with gunshot wounds, and he wasn't unfortunately living anymore. For Los Zetas, they didn't want this story to come out because it made them look really bad. Because they were trying to make everybody fear them, and they controlled the media too. So they stopped a lot of the news outlets from reporting this story. But a week later, one of the news outlets went ahead and just ran the story, and word quickly spread around Mexico. about this man, he would become basically a legend to everybody because he represented like one man standing up against this giant like evil cartel. It kind of gave a lot of people hope.
Look at the Megyn Kelly Erica Kirk interview. I found out a few things. First of all, Charlie's coming out with a new book. How do you release a book after you apparently can? Best time to release a book is after you're dead. Oh Lord. The book is called Stop in the Name of God. I think it should be called Stop in the Name of PSYOP bullshit. And the book apparently has to do with resting. Keeping the Sabbath day holy, just resting. And it actually does make sense, Erica. I'm so glad you talked about resting, because Erica's like, it comes full circle because he's resting in peace in eternal heaven. So it's so apropos that he would write a book about how important resting is. How about this? I think this book just proves resting is another way of saying you're motherfucking asleep if you believe any of this. That is how I feel right now. I'm not saying it's fact, but every day gets better, and I had to pay to upgrade my subscription on Sirius Satellite. Charlie released a book. Yep. Okay. I can't right now. I'm done.
Has his parents ever made a statement? I have yet to see one statement from them. Like, they probably know what's going on. Well, they do. And they're like, we all have nothing to do with this. Like that book, you know, the PR is saying you need to put this book out. It's fresh. We're going to make the most money on it. Put the book out, right? But, I mean, I would love to hear what his parents have to say about all this. Because that's going to be the truth, maybe. But that's what I would want to hear. I'd want to see an interview with them.
In the fucking Illuminati, bro, for a minute. And, like, I'm trying to get out. The only way out is by stabbing somebody or shooting somebody. I can't do it anymore, bro. Like, I'm a puppet to them, bro. Like, if they told me, all right, go to this Diddy party, I got to go to Diddy party. I know. And, like, get f***ing ass. Like, I can't do that no more, bro.
How do you know that? Huh? How do you know that? Yeah.
Wait, did you hear what he just said? Just listen to this, because it exposes something on stream.
How old are you? I low-key stopped counting. Bro.
Yeah, how do you look so young? What's your secret?
Like...
For anyone who missed it, right here, it sounds like he's saying blood. Keep watching.
How do you look so young? What's your secret?
Like...
And this isn't the first time that he's brought it up. Remember when MGK and Megyn said this line?
It's just a few drops, but yes, we do consume each other's blood on occasion.
Everyone thought they were joking, but what if they weren't? And here's the part that gives me chills. This happened on Aiden Ross's stream. The same circle where streamers keep hinting at selling their soul. Every time they laugh, but it's not really funny, is it? If you think this story is wild, watch these two videos. Let me know your thoughts and comments down below.
Like, so much on these streams, y'all. They're telling the people. They're telling the people, and the people are just eating it up, giving them views. Are they organic views? I don't know. Is there really 100,000 people watching them? I don't know, y'all. But they're constantly exposing, telling you guys the truth, why they're at where they're at, drinking blood, and the Illuminati. And you can tell it's a skit. Like, they're told to say this, right? Just like he said, I'm told to go on this interview. I'm told to go do this and that. Like, they're told what to do. They're told what to talk about on their stream. And people eat it up, y'all. It's crazy.
Music for a purpose. It's not just background music. It's not just, fluffy, light stuff.
This is not elevator satanic music.
It's ritualistic music. It is music that by even the act of listening to it, you are participating in a satanic ritual.
Did you hear about that lady that drank that margarita and died?
Dude, don't tell me that.
It wasn't. There's no way this was by accident.
This is insane.
You heard this? I don't know, but margarita is like my favorite thing in the
dude,
world.
it's
So don't
crazy.
freak me out here.
All right, this was
Make your own now.
2 years ago.
Okay.
This lady, her name was Holly
Wait,
Hill.
was this in Mexico?
No, this is the United States
Okay.
at a Mexican restaurant.
Okay.
Haciendas is what it was called.
She drank a margarita. She goes, "Oh my gosh, my mouth is burning."
Immediately.
Ran to the restroom, called her mom, was like, "Something's wrong. I just drank this margarita. It's burning like crazy.
I need to go to the hospital now."
She went to the hospital and they said it was probably just too spicy. She's like, "No, it's burning."
Yeah.
And it took way too long. They eventually brought her back, looked at her esophagus. They said it looked like hamburger meat.
Oh,
damn.
And what had to happen was the kitchen apparently put in an oven cleaner.
Oven and grill cleaner.
Into her margarita. It's called glitter.
But it's like on the label
right here.
says corrosive.
Why would they do that?
That's the thing.
Did they go to
Why?
prison for murder?
Here's the thing. She basically she could not consume food anymore, and it was hard for her to breathe.
Oh, so she survived that experience and then died later.
2 years later.
Oh, that poor girl.
Yeah. And so died 2 years later, and the restaurant's like, "We're so sad that she has passed.
Sure.
We have fired the people that were involved."
Oh.
It's like,
okay.
Close down the restaurant. They're still open.
Oven cleaner.
That's crazy.
I would own that entire. That's insane.
It's crazy.
The biggest event we had.
I mean, you don't know. You don't know who's making your drink out there. I remember when I went to, when Mama Bear was, kind of first pregnant. We went to Arizona. It was in June, and she was due in January. So it was very early on. We went to Arizona to tell my family, but I took her to Sedona, took her to Flagstaff. We hit Jerome on the way home, and when we were at Jerome, she got like a margarita, right? But a alcohol-free margarita. So I had to remind this dude before, when she ordered it, I said, "Hey, she's pregnant. Make sure there's nothing in there." Like, I had to remind him like 3 times. Like, he probably would have got it the first try, but I still felt like you just never know. You never know. So I even told the bartender, like, "Hey, she's pregnant. Make sure," right? You don't know who's making your drink, y'all. That's the scary part when you're going out to order food. You don't know who's making your food. You just don't know. I guess you just put trust in the establishment, right? That's what we do, but you just never know.
While was this very public assassination of Charlie Kirk, and a lot of people are looking at Erica Kirk, and now it's looking like that might have been an arranged marriage where her mom works with Homeland Security and her dad ran weapon systems for Israel. The first pageant she wins is owned by Trump. She's involved with this Romanian Angels thing that raises a lot of red flags. It's really hard to understand the long game involved with like cultivating assets and placing them in people's lives and spending your whole day married to someone. This whole thing you built gets turned over to them, and she doesn't seem all that empathetic. What would you say to people who are like looking at the real deep stuff that goes back years and thinking, how can this even be real?
What you mentioned there about playing the long game is very, very, very important to understanding what's happening. My view has been that what I call the global cult, this global network of secret societies, which ultimately has an interlocking leadership and direction, they won't know the big picture at all, but they'll still play their part where necessary in advancing it, even though they don't know it exists. They'll just do it because that's the way that things work and what they're told to do. And this is the way the whole system works. You cannot let too many people know what the game is because it starts to seep out. It's being orchestrated on another level in a very, very calculated way.
I don't remember that, but
I heard a rumor, but the Michael Massini was first contacted by somebody in Hollywood to become a counselor on The Sopranos to try to keep it real.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
And he turned it down.
Oh, how come?
And because he just came out of prison.
Okay.
And he and he didn't think it was a good idea. But he said, I think I made a mistake. He could have made a lot of money on that.
Now, I've heard that the actor that played Paulie Walnuts, I don't know if he was actually connected, but I think he was like a friend of ours. And he did spend time in the can.
Yeah.
And if you ever notice Paulie Walnut's posture, he's always got his hands in front of him.
And it was really dark, and none of it was her fault. When you're that big, you have such a team behind you, and you're just going with
And no say so. Like literally.
knows?
Yeah,
No
right.
idea.
We never know.
But a lot of them chose horrible deals. You know, people call it selling their soul. I've always kept my soul.
Yeah.
And I've been offered a lot.
I'm looking you in your eyes. You seem to have a
I'm
soul
still here.
Yeah. Ding, ding, ding.
It all cracks.
Yeah. He turns into a reptilian right now.
Oh my God. They wanted me to go full reptile. I didn't want to.
Really?
Yeah.
How does that even work? How does somebody come to you and say, hey, I want you to be a reptilian?
They see the potential that you can do to shift the culture.
Right.
And I chose to shift it myself.
So people actually will come to you and say, hey, I want you to be a reptilian. What does that entail?
It's more like, will you, it's basically like selling your soul. It's such a tricky.
This is just too funny. This lady's here. And then there she is. and this man is here. Where is he? He's here. And then he's here as well. My favourite one is this lady who is in front of Tao, who is behind Tao, but just doing the same face. They're quite literally doing the same face. I just don't understand. Why didn't they change their costumes? At least take off the accessories, man. Like, what is... What?
You can get juice from a potato.
13 years ago, when this video came out, everyone laughed at it. But today, every Ariana Grande fan is absolutely outraged by certain clips that have recently resurfaced. All of these videos show moments filmed backstage or posted only online. Every one of those bits was shot solely for Nickelodeon. What you need to know is that at that time, the channel was run by Dan Schneider, and this guy is known for being the very embodiment of creepy. There are videos of him in hot tubs with some of his young actresses. He constantly slipped adult humor into children's shows, and he made some of his young actors do things that were extremely unhealthy and clearly unacceptable. I'm going to show you another clip at the end of this TikTok that Ariana Grande had to film, and it genuinely leaves me confused. How far did the disturbing behavior go that Ariana Grande was exposed to while working for Nickelodeon? If you weren't aware, some of her co-stars from the same network have recently broken their silence to say they were not only abused, but repeatedly. We have the proof in the clip I showed you at the start. Let's hope someone as well known as Ariana eventually speaks up to reveal what happened to her. Now get ready to see the other clip, and you're going to have to tell me if you find it creepy or not, because according to Dan Schneider, he insists that everything he ever filmed for Nickelodeon is completely family friendly.
I'm soaking wet! Quick, somebody bring me... Come on! Give up the juice!
What do you think about the Ayesha Curry stuff?
No comment.
That shit's wild. You can't lie. The things she said.
One of my daughters sent me one of the clips, and she's like, "Mom, I'm so disappointed. Why?" And I'm like, I don't know. Sometimes you like to think things are taken out of context. There's true soulmates. So I feel like I try not to judge that part because I've been judged for stuff less important than a marriage. Don't you wonder with when people go public like that with kind of personal stuff?
Now,
I'm like, well, number one, why? Number two, what is that conversation like later when you're like, really? Like, why'd you say that from here? And I don't know. I know that I would not say something like that about someone that I love, but to each his own.
Has
I think y'all better pay attention to what's going on. Because that volcano that erupted in Ethiopia hasn't erupted in 12,000 years. That shit was not supposed to happen. That volcano that erupted hasn't...
Hold on, this guy's doing a voiceover to that one dude that wears the glasses and the hat and all the chains. That's stealing content, y'all. That's stealing content.
...erupted since anybody on this earth lived on this earth. Mind you, this volcano just erupted out of the blue. So you telling me after 12,000 years, this shit just randomly erupted? Does that make sense to you? Villages completely dark. Numerous animals died. Ash shot almost 10 miles into the air. Mind you, this volcano is about 500 feet all the way up into the sky. This is the same volcano that erupted before the end of the Ice Age. This is the same volcano that erupted before... You ain't just hear what I just said, right? Mind you, 40 other volcanoes erupted simultaneously. Now jump down that rabbit hole. What just happened in Europe? That volcano that was in Europe, that shit erupted too. The earth is definitely giving signs right now, and those signs do not look good. And I heard somebody mention this. But do you remember what the prophet said about fire rising near the Red Sea? Where's Ethiopia? I see everybody worrying about what technology going to do. But you got to remember this. There were civilizations that lived before us, and they didn't have the technology we had. But it seems like they knew way more than what we did. And if those prophecies are true, this volcano erupting, it's not a good thing at all. Pay attention.
Of all, that's crazy. I didn't know that's what that was when I downloaded it. Right, I just watched, like I said, the first 5 seconds. If it fits the genre we do, it gets downloaded. If I don't like it, I get it out of the video while editing. But that's, I mean, it probably took more work to memorize what he's saying and do a exact voiceover, unless it's AI doing it. Then he could have just gave his own 2 cents and felt a lot better about it. Man, that's crazy, y'all. That's crazy people are doing that.
Well, I would never expect this man to be on the list. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, the new files of the Epstein list has been released, and there is a bunch of celebrities on there. A bunch that you would not expect. And we're talking about singers all the way up to royalty. And I'm gonna start it with people you may not know and then work up to people I know you know. We've got former Prime Minister Gordon Brown, who was mentioned 22 times. Then we've got Colin Firth, actor and director. He was mentioned 10 times. But here's where you might start recognizing people if you didn't know who the other ones were. We've got Mr. GQ himself, David Beckham. He was mentioned 9 times. Bet that smile don't look sexy now. Then we've got Princess Diana. She was mentioned 14 times. And a lot of y'all are probably not going to know who this is, but this is Mick Jagger. He was mentioned 9 times. Then we have a few other like Pierce Morgan. He was mentioned 9 times. Naomi Campbell. She was mentioned 10 times. But these next few I was never expecting to be on the list. Especially the last one. Then we've got Elton John. He was mentioned 8 times, and I bet that was the same face he was making when he found out he was mentioned 8 times on this list. And this one actually had a lot of people shook, but the next one I'm going to show you actually blew my mind. But she was mentioned 8 times. This is Adele. Stephen Hawking. Of all fucking people, Stephen Hawking, and he was mentioned 17 times. Like, I'm sorry, I understand that a few of those other people that I mention is actually shocking, but the fucking fact that Stephen Hawking is on this fucking list is mind-blowing. So if you haven't seen this, go look it up. If you have seen it, let me know your thoughts in the comments.
This footage is insane coming out of Hong Kong. They just had their deadliest high-rise fire in nearly 80 years and it never should have happened. Also, notice this footage. Notice the buildings never collapsed. But anyway, a massive fire ripped through a housing complex in Hong Kong, and this wasn't just some freak accident. According to officials, it took more than 2,300 firefighters and medical personnel, and it took about 43 hours to fully control this fire. At least 128 people are dead, 200 people are still unaccounted for, but this was the part that really made people upset. The residents had actually been warning the government and the contractors about a renovation they were doing to this complex. The towers were wrapped in a bamboo scaffolding covered in a green construction mesh. It also had styrofoam type materials on the outside that authorities said were non-compliant with fire safety standards. So once the fire hit the exterior, those materials turned into a fuse and flames raised up and across multiple towers at a really fast speed. And the fire alarms never went off, so people literally woke up to smoke and screaming. And now police have arrested several construction bosses and engineers on suspicion of manslaughter and gross negligence over the use of those unsafe materials. And the scary part is Hong Kong is one of the most densely packed cities on earth. A lot of people live in high-rise buildings, and a lot of them are made from the same material. So pray for those families involved with this fire.
It is truly insane to me that in 2025, this is Black Friday in front of a Walmart. It is 5:45 in the morning, store opens in 15 minutes, and there is literally nobody out here with me. If this would have been in the early 2000s, it would have been mass panic, mass insanity. People lost their lives in the early 2000s for Black Friday. People would get up against the doors and just ram in. It was insane. This is absolutely nuts to me. I don't know about anybody else, but I don't ever remember Black Friday being this desolate. There is nobody here with me. Which makes, I guess, for easy shopping, but still, I mean, I kind of miss the rush of Black Friday a little bit, at least. Am I the...
Like, nobody... What did everybody used to go to Black Friday? Get in those long lines for? What did they used to go for? 90% of them. TVs. TVs are a dime a dozen now. You don't got to go sit in that line no more. I mean, everything's just overpriced. Even when it's on sale, it's still expensive. You know, PS5 is what? $500 now? 5, 6, probably more. I don't know. But man. And then we got a clip coming up next of a Walmart employee exposing it. I haven't seen that. So I don't know what she's going to talk about. But, you know, I know last year was a big thing. Like Black Friday prices were actually cheaper or more expensive than the actual price. But they just put that Black Friday special on there, but they raised the prices.
Only one? I can't be the only one that misses the rush.
Why the fuck is no one talking about this viral video of a Walmart ex-employee exposing all the Black Friday secrets they hide from customers? Just watch.
Walmart really fired me today, all because I told a customer how to get a free Black Friday tote bag. Now let me tell y'all what else they be hiding before the sales hit. First off, during Black Friday week, they make us flip the last chance labels on electronics so you can't see when something's about to get pulled off the floor. Always check the SQ sticker at the bottom if it's wrinkled. That item's been sitting there way longer than they want you to know. Okay, Walmart corporate hates when we talk about it. But if you do a Walmart feedback review at wallgifted.store, you can get a $700 Walmart gift card for Black Friday. Everybody qualifies, and I literally did it last night and got the iPad for $6. And here's the part they definitely don't want you knowing. If you spend over $20 during Black Friday, we're supposed to give you a free reusable tote or holiday keychain. But unless you ask, we forget. Not me, though I was the one who cared, and look where it got me. Oh, and the best hack, if you find open packaging in electronics or toys, ask for a markdown. We're supposed to discount it 50% on the spot. I've watched grown adults pretend a box was ripped just to get the deal, and Walmart still gives it to them. Okay, girl, if you comment Walmart fines, I'll tell you the stuff I can't even say on camera.
They say you never know when a society is on the brink of collapse, but I like to think that those of us with a keen eye will recognize the signs.
I'm with Cash Money. You're going to do the same thing Soulja Boy did. You're going to do the same thing Bow Wow did. You're going to do the same thing that Waka Flocka Flavor did. What did they do after they got signed on these labels? They tattoo their whole body. Why you think they do that, yo? Just to be different? Nah. They did that because they get the anal to be in this truth of the music industry, showing their honors to the people that's before them. That's the truth of the industry, that you're willing to take a man's penis in his anal. That's the truth. Okay? And when they did that, they just didn't do it one time. They did multiple times. And the only way they feel like they can get their dignity back is to tattoo their body to make them feel like I still have my manhood. What you think they did to B12, man? BK. They popped them in that. They slid it. Tigger was done in too. All of them are. If they didn't follow the rituals, they could not get airplay. Did you?
There is clearly magnets in the ball because they were inside of a dome. The Lions were when they kicked this ball, right? And obviously there's no wind in a dome. So how does the ball make this kind of movement where it looks as if it's going to miss completely, right? And then it like does this crazy turnaround right back in between the goalpost. There is something going on here. If this doesn't show you that there is magnets or drone technology or something like that inside of these footballs, I don't know what will at this point. This just goes to show you how rigged and scripted these leagues are. Because again, they were inside of a dome, no wind. The ball had no business moving like that. It didn't.
Why does... Yeah, I need to find a clip. I saw it yesterday. I should have downloaded it for today. But a dude scored a touchdown, right? And I thought he was celebrating like my hands are glued, like it won't come off. But he took the glove off, and the glove stayed on the ball as it went down. Is it sticky stuff on there? Is it magnets that he couldn't get it off? Because he was even trying to pull it. It wasn't coming off. He took the glove off. Now, if he was just celebrating, that glove would have just fell, with the ball. But that glove was stuck on that ball when it fell. I'll try to remember to find that for tomorrow.
American school let a random company walk in and photograph every single kid, year after year, like clockwork. Why is it normalized that a third-party corporation collects a high-resolution image of every child in the country? They claim it's harmless. But look into who owns them. Follow the money, and you land in the same place. BlackRock, Vanguard, the silent architects with stakes in defense, surveillance, and data firms. Why do these financial giants want the largest photo database of American children? Facial recognition needs training data, massive data sets. The younger the better to track identity over time. What better supply chain than schools? A captive population, full compliance. If the goal was just prints, the industry wouldn't be consolidated under the same umbrellas that shape governments. The same firms investing in predictive policing and biometric identification. Why does every school hand over the face of every child to the forces that shape the world from the shadows? You be the judge. If you're awake, you already know what to do. Hit the link in our bio and join our free underground newsletter.
Remember that time when all the scientists worked so hard to find out what wasn't the cause of this condition in young athletes? Remember how it was such a relief because nobody wanted to talk about it and everybody was kind of like, there's nothing to see here. And you're like, I see something. And like, no, you don't. And you're like, no, I definitely see this and this and this. And then they told you, oh yeah, that's the thing. We know what it is and we know what doesn't cause it. And you're like, oh, that's weird because like a year ago it didn't exist and now you got a name for it. And then you found out like, because you Googled what the word syndrome actually means because you hear it used on so many things, but you never really like looked into it. And you find out that syndrome just means they don't know what the hell caused it. And then you're like, I feel so much better now. Remember that?
He's struggling, some say badly, to sell out tickets after it was just seen at one of his recent performances. The empty seats all throughout the venue at a recent Louisville, Kentucky show. And the fans are saying it's because he's sold out and he's no longer behaving like how he used to. Chat, we have all of the details to tell you in this video. This is the venue that we're talking about. As you guys could see, even there were some people that were being escorted out, but then you could also see the other seating here, and it doesn't look very packed. Fluffy, you have to realize that nobody is above the program. I just saw this video right here and it looks like ya se alzó el vato.
I've got 701 people.
Shit around. I don't care. Turn around. Let's take a selfie.
I'm not here to do a video. Okay.
Nobody is bigger than the program and there is no exceptions. Chat, let's read this one out together. Pride goes before destruction. and a haughty spirit before a fall. Now, we don't know the reason as to why this venue was empty, but this person right here is saying he hasn't said anything against the green guys, but was very quick to speak up for Kirk. I guess Fluffy is no longer funny. The place is empty, Damn is empty, and so many more people speaking up on this. Chat, what do you guys think about this one? Let me know and drop a comment.
Did you kill the president?
No, I've not been charged with that. In fact, nobody has said that to me yet. The first thing I heard about it was when the newspaper reporters in the hall asked me that question.
You have been.
Nobody said what? Sir?
You have been.
Nobody said what? Okay, we can't hear you, man. Okay.
What did you do in Russia?
Pay attention closely to Lee Harvey Oswald's reaction to the news that he had been charged with shooting the president, JFK. Now, I'm not an expert on body language. This looks like a guy who is disappointed, not one that is proud for now becoming famous. He's not smug with self-satisfaction for having accomplished his mission, if that's what it was. He looks more like a guy who was told one thing and then come to find out wasn't at all what had happened. He's disappointed and somewhat shocked. That's just my take on it. Watch again.
One of geology's biggest mysteries is this: a gap in the Earth's rock record so extensive that it's been called geology's missing chapter. It's both scientifically fascinating and pretty unsettling. This is probably the perfect video to kick off my annual spooky science series for October, so make sure you're following for the rest. It's formally known as the Great Unconformity, and it shows up around the world. It represents anywhere from 250 million to 1.5 billion years of missing geological history. For example, at the Grand Canyon, you can literally place your hand on the boundary where 550 million year old rock sits on top of 1.7 billion year old rocks, with over a billion years simply missing. What makes this so bonkers is that this isn't a local phenomenon. This has been identified on every continent. So what the heck happened? Here's what we know so far. During this missing period, Earth was really going through it. A lot of major things were happening on Earth. The first complex life emerged, possible snowball Earth global glacial events occurred, and oxygen built up in the atmosphere. Yet the rock record for these really pivotal moments for our planet have been erased. So the big mystery that scientists are still trying to answer is, why did that chapter on Earth get wiped out? We don't have a definitive answer, but there is one leading hypothesis, which is the most extreme erosion event in Earth's history. Around 720 to 635 million years ago, Earth may have experienced a global glaciation event so intense that there was likely even ice at the equator. But here's what's even spookier. The erosion required to create the Great Unconformity would have ground down entire mountain ranges, stripping continents down to just their crystalline basement rocks. Experts believe this wasn't just a gradual whittling down over time, but a violent erosion, possibly moving 3 to 5 kilometers of rock across entire continents. Now, the energy needed to do that, it's a lot. If Earth was an onion, instead of slowly peeling away the continental crust layers one at a time, this erosion event was like ripping off 10 layers at once across an area the size of North America. Here's where it gets scientifically spooky. After this massive eruption, the Cambrian explosion happens, the most rapid diversification of life in Earth's history. Some scientists believe these two events are connected. The thinking is the erosion could have released massive amounts of nutrients into the ocean, triggering evolutionary innovation. And we see the evidence for that in the rocks. Thermochronology studies reveal that rocks now at Earth's surface were once buried 5 to 10 kilometers deep, then rapidly exposed. Zircon crystals from the era also show extreme cooling rates, consistent with rapid exposure to the surface. And isotopic signatures suggest unprecedented levels of continental material dumped into the oceans. But the Great Unconformity still remains a mystery because we still don't fully understand what caused this to happen everywhere around the world and to this magnitude. The Great Unconformity is mind-bending for a few reasons. It shows our planet is basically capable of wiping its own geological memory on a global scale, and begs the question, what other critical chapters of Earth's history might be missing? It's a great reminder of how truly powerful the forces shaping our Earth are. leaving us to piece together a story from just fragments. Follow for more spooky science series all October long, and make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel because we are dropping our very first and very special Halloween episode at the end of this month.
All right, family. There you have today's video. Cut it short. I got a lot to do today, y'all. I got to decorate outside for Christmas, right? We got to put some lights out there. I could tell Mama Bear, she needs a break, right? She needs a break. So we were going to go grocery shopping, but I said, you know what? I asked her, do you want to go grocery shopping by yourself? She lit up and she was like, yes. So, I'm going to not go grocery shopping. I like to go grocery shopping, but I'm going to let her go grocery shopping and let her get some alone time away from me, away from the baby. That's important. That was one thing I told her, because I've seen when people have kids, sometimes like their life gets shut down, for the child, which isn't a bad thing. But, I always feel like, for me, my thing's hiking, running. I go out 45 minutes a day, go get a hike in, go get a run in, and I'm good, y'all. That's all I need, right? But sometimes moms, they carry the load, right? So I want her to make sure, find a hobby, find something, even if it's as little as, if you want to start grocery shopping by yourself, go ahead, grocery shop, right? I'll go get my stuff, you go get your stuff, and do it like that. So, she's kind of happy to go out there and grocery shop. So that's what I'm gonna do. She's gonna go grocery shop, decorate outside. I got to go hike, of course. I got to go get a hike in. So that's the plan today, y'all. So I hope everyone out there has a good day. Hope you enjoyed today's video. If you made it this far, leave a like, comment, subscribe. This is Segovia. I'm signing out of the Man Cave. Don't worry, the Hour Bangers will be back. Hopefully tomorrow we'll get an Hour Banger in. I'll see you guys on the next one. Later.